downtown today. It's pretty busy, but just wanted to give you a little bit of a kind of a peek of where I'm at. It was raining like super hard about 5-10 minutes ago, but that's kind of the way it works in Vietnam. So it rains real hard and it kind of goes away. So I was supposed to go to this blockchain event today, and I mentioned that on my last stream. However, it seems as though they had like a different function. So it was like they had like a VIP function for certain people that paid like more money, and that was going on today, as opposed to, I guess, the actual event's tomorrow. So I was with the group. We kind of went down there, and it's like they were still setting up. So I guess that's going to be tomorrow, but give you guys a little bit of an update on that. And other than that, like I saw this article the other day and wanted to cover this a little bit. So there's an article here for those of you guys who don't know. There's this CCID, which is the China Center for Information Industry Development, has updated its crypto rankings. So this listing contains 33 crypto projects ranked overall in 3 separate categories. You know, high up on the rankings are EOS, Ethereum, BitShares. You know, Bitcoin's just been downgraded. And so I left the link in the description below, so you guys are welcome to take it out. But I think it's interesting to see EOS, you know, at the top here, because I, you know, haven't been a big fan of EOS. BitShares, though, was one that I was in a long time ago. So I'm going to go over BitShares a little bit. Steam's way up here. It's interesting to see Nebulous, GXChain, Komodo, Lisk, kind of going down the list here. You've got Stellar above Ripple, Cardano, Ripple Bitcoin, Verge. So you're seeing some of these projects. Nulls is a new one to the list. Monero, IOTA, Dash. Interesting to see Hcash on there. Tezo, Sia Coin, which is the biggest performer today, the Sia Coin. And a few other ones. Bitcoin Cash, Decreed, NEM. So I kind of go through this article here, the ranking methodology. They evaluate public chain development tools. It's classified, refined, and the counting method of the actual throughput of the public chain was optimized. So mainly evaluates the technical realization level of the public chain and examines the function, performance, safety, decentralization of the chain. So interesting article, kind of goes over some of these. Now, I like a lot of these projects that are in here. Oh, let's see here. Ethereum indices decreased by 13.2 and 5.3 respectively. So interesting kind of tidbits. So the rankings in China, you know, I've kind of been a big proponent of projects that are doing well in some of the foreign markets, and this is definitely one of them. This particular these particular projects that are being listed on this index, I think these are going to be better projects to kind of get into. They're already starting to get some attention from some of these like kind of think tanks in a way that are looking at some of these crypto projects. And wanted to go over GXChain and BitShares a little bit, but also wanted to cover Dropil. So I'm gonna go over Dropil right now and just kind of show you guys a little bit of that before it logs me out of my account. This is my Dropil account. I purchased some more Dropil. I want to get a little bit more into this. You know, I currently have like you know, about 4,000 in NovaChain, and I kind of wanted to match that here in Dropil. So I'm going to start, you know, adding to this a little bit and kind of picking this up. So I like the way Dropil's kind of working. They have their Arthur, which is kind of their way of kind of looking at different arbitrage opportunities with different exchanges. That actually has some buttons here where you can go to the particular exchange if you're logged in. You know, if you have kind of like a trading setup like I have in my office, you know, you can log into a lot of your different accounts and kind of look at some of the differences. Now, these have not been all that great. You know, these percentages were much higher. Yeah, it's you know, kind of in the like 2 to 3% range, and we're not quite seeing that as much like right now. So just kind of an interesting, you know, development. Arbitrage is kind of a big kind of trending topic right now in cryptocurrency. You have several platforms that are, you know, kind of specializing in that area and looking to kind of build platforms around, you know, taking advantage of different, you know, price differences in the market. I'm doing that a little bit with with a few different pairs, and you know, that's kind of a safer way to kind of get into trading and you know, kind of moving funds around. Like, you know, I guess if I really, you know, dedicated myself to it, I could probably focus on that and just do arbitrage all day on different cryptocurrency pairs, and, you know, probably make, you know, at least a few $100 doing that. You know, I just I don't know, like I'm always kind of all over the place. I'm kind of traveling and exploring different things. Like today I've had a lot of really interesting conversations with some of my my Vietnamese friends here, Western friends and Vietnamese. So it's good. Like I'm gonna be meeting with some Korean folks that I met that are like developing this whole project up in Korea, and I kind of mentioned to them a little bit of my background, and so we're gonna be meeting up tonight, 10 o'clock to like 10 at night for drinks and whatnot. So it should be fun. And then tomorrow I'll be at the this blockchain event, and there's another one that's being hosted by LA Token. I'm gonna go to that on Wednesday. So I'm going to check out some of these events, and but I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on, at least on my Dropil account. Like I'm still liking Dropil, so I'm looking to kind of bump that up and you know, get into a, you know, kind of a better position. It seems you know, sustainable in terms of kind of like, you know, what I'm seeing here with what they're doing. Like it was, you know, pretty low. Like, you know, I had put in, like at one point it was like $900, right? And then the value that I had dropped to like 400. And that's all based on, you know, the price of Dropil. So you can kind of see the market here. It's still in the 72nd position rank. See a little bit, you know, it kind of dipped down, but the volume's been increasing lately. So kind of had a surge starting, what was that, June 8th? Kind of been up and down, you know, for the last 3 months. Price overall has kind of come down a little bit, but looking at some of the different markets that you can pick up, you know, Dropil. There's IDAX, IDEX. So most of it's in IDAX. It's kind of interesting to see. A lot of the volume. Kind of searches by price. Right now, the cheapest is in TIDEX, and that's the exchange I've been kind of working with. Like I got a bunch of Dropil in there right now. I think I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna try to get my account to, you know, about 4K, and just kind of roll with it and start kind of withdrawing a little bit from that. GXChain, some of the other projects I'm in, Daily Divs, a few of the other ones, and looking at different projects to kind of get into arbitraging. So let me check on the chat a little bit. It's a really good idea to buy ARB all day long. Hope you can guide us, as I am an IT idiot. I think arbitraging, that was kind of one of my things. I was thinking about like building up some of my accounts that are doing well right now, and just withdrawing every day and using those funds to invest in like arbitraging. Bitcoin was another one. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is like taking a certain percentage of what I've got and just starting to kind of buy Bitcoin and just kind of continuously kind of build that up, because I don't have any Bitcoin right now, like very, very little. And like, I don't even think I have like 0.1 Bitcoin. Everything's kind of in altcoins. I've got a lot in Ethereum, and of course, you know, with the market tanking, that really kind of affected, but you know, I'm still thinking that from a functionality standpoint, like with the dApp space, you know, Ethereum's just really kind of where it's at right now. So kind of looking at dApp radar, you can see like this 333 ETH still kicking. I wish I would have been able to get into this, you know, a long time ago if it wasn't for damn MetaMask. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's too late at this point because of, you know, the risk behind this project. You're seeing Infinity Money start to pull up a little bit. That was another one I've been following. Both of those kind of Russian you know, HYIPs that are, you know, offering this kind of unsustainable interest rate. So we'll see how those develop and kind of progress. You can see proof of weak hands, you know, continuing to drop, and I think that trend's going to continue until, you know, we see a development, you know, with that particular project. Apparently they're working on some stuff, so we'll see. Let me go over BitShares real quick. So now BitShares, let me pull this up here. BitShares has some interesting aspects to it. Like, this is one of their exchanges. So they have this kind of decentralized BitShares exchange. I guess the trading views are not quite working, but let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. The screen doesn't seem to be working very well right now. It's like frozen. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me refresh. Put a whopping 0.02 ETH into 3-day. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was going to do. I was just going to put like an ETH in. You know, if I lose it, whatever. But kind of wanted to get into it. Like, it's #1 on DApp radar. So, and I think another thing to kind of look at is like some of the EOS dApps and some of the dApps and some of the other pairs. I've looked into some of these. Like, again, like some of these dice betting games are like, you've got over 1,000. I don't know anything about this candy box one. That's kind of new. But yeah, like it's all kind of these gambling, you know, dice style games, because those are kind of the easiest to code and develop, I guess, at this point. But you know, I kind of sticking with some of the projects and things I'm in. I like BitShares though. Let's just look at BitShares. Like, BitShares has a lot of history. I currently don't own any BitShares, but I'm interested in it. I think it's maybe a good time to get in. So they've got their asset exchange. You can see a little bit of the, you know, the history. I remember it was big on Poloniex and Bittrex at one point. Let's see, you know, on Bittrex here. This is not on Bittrex, maybe. Maybe it was Poloniex. Maybe it was just Poloniex that I got into that. But I remember getting into BitShares pretty heavily like 2 years ago or something. A long time ago. I kind of liked what I was seeing behind that project. And the other one was this GXChain, which I need to repost my video, but I did a video where I went over a lot of the different altcoins, and GXChain was an interesting one. So this is one that's pretty big in China, so you can see a little bit of the market here. Huobi, most of the volume in Huobi, so 93% in Huobi. Binance, Gate.io, big one, you know, a few others. It's, you know, it kind of had this ICO period and really dropped off. There was a huge sell-off. You can see up here, what was that, like almost $6, and it lost, you know, went below $1, and then it kind of spiked up at certain times, and now it's right around that dollar mark, and you can see the volume really kind of tapered off, but it's really high on this index. So, you know, the Chinese really like this. It's got it in the 7th position with you know, some good marks. You can see the total index here. So applicability is pretty high, creativity. So it's interesting to see kind of how they rank some of these different things. I wish this was kind of interactive, so you could see, like, you know, what's the most applicable in terms of, like, you know, what I'm seeing here is Ethereum. So Ethereum leads the way in applicability, followed by Neo and Nebulous. Let's take a look at Nebulous. This is another one I think I was pretty high on. I got to go back and check my videos. But currently 88th. You know, still kind of relatively new, but I think these are some of these altcoins. Like, we're starting to see, like, Bitcoin. We saw Ripple pump. Bitcoin's kind of coming up where there's a lot of you know, kind of bullish skepticism behind Bitcoin and even a few other altcoins. And so sometimes this can be a great opportunity to take a smaller position in some of these like smaller altcoins. And then when you kind of see like a little bit of a, kind of a green bullish trend with the cryptocurrency market, you see some of these altcoins really pop. So yeah, Electroneum is big up, has been way up. I believe it had a little bit of a correction today. Where's it at? Because it really popped in the market yesterday. Yeah, it's actually the biggest loser today. So you can see here. Oops. So of the top 100 coins, Electroneum, it had that pullback, but you can see here, it just, it had a massive, ramp up right here and just came down. Substratum, don't know like a whole lot about it. Let's take a look. I mean, it's like, it's really leveled off here. It's still in a good position in terms of its market cap, but you can see here, 10% plus, 88%. So that's probably like my red flag. 98% of the volume in Binance. It's in other exchanges. You see here, a lot of other exchanges, but there's no volume. Like a few $100. So there could be some speculation. That doesn't necessarily mean like, I'm in some coins that are some projects that are pretty, I guess, focused in one particular exchange, I guess you could say. I kind of like some of their infographs here. You can see like the substratum, little geometric shape there. Earn cryptocurrency. If you run your substratum node, you get paid via cryptocurrency each time they serve content. Thinking of getting some Ethereum Classic on rumors. I'm not sure what rumors you may have heard, but yeah, I mean, I was like, Ethereum Classic was like, last year was one of my favorite altcoins. Like I had a lot of Ethereum Classic, basically last April, May. Last year I was very bullish on Ethereum Classic. And part of it was kind of my prior tech IT background. Like I'm very into like light programs. So for instance, like many different times, like I've had a version of Windows running on my computer that's like extremely light. So like my computer was like lightning fast. I had a Dell laptop from 2002, and I used that thing like all the way up until basically like 2017. And I had this really light version of XP running on it, and like VLC Media Player, Windows Media Player Classic. I had like a very light version, like I can't remember what internet browser Explorer had, but I have like a light version of that running on this like dinosaur computer, and that thing was like faster than a lot of like, it seemed like a lot of new computers on the that you'd buy, because some of those get really bogged down by just bloated junk code in a way. And so that's kind of like that's kind of the impression you get from Ethereum, is that perhaps it might be one of these over bloated platforms. It's not really going to be able to scale very well. That's kind of been a little bit of its criticism. And so a project like Ethereum Classic that is kind of running more on some of the original parameters and technology behind the system, where it's just a lighter version of Ethereum. But see, like, a lot of these are down. Like we saw a few different coins pump, but I think we're getting ready, heading into the end of the year here. We're going to see a little bit of a resurgence in a few different projects. I could see this being one of them. The other thing I really liked about Ethereum Classic is the Asian volume. You know, this was really big in Korea at one point, but you can see BitHum, OKEX. I don't know much about the EXX exchange, but it's a lot of volume going on there. So, Ethereum Classic going to shock a lot of people. Yeah, I like it. What the hell's going on with ETH right now? I wish I had a crystal ball. It's hard to predict. It really is. In whales, large institutional money can really affect the price substantially. So that's like I feel like that's what you saw with Ripple. You just saw 10 billion just get dumped into Ripple, and all of a sudden it just passed Ethereum. So there's a lot of institutional money out there. There's a lot of people with that are sitting on the sidelines looking for the right time to get into various cryptocurrency projects. And, you know, just don't know how easily Ethereum's really manipulated, because you know those two projects really have a lot of user adoption, a lot of diversity in the different exchanges. However, like Ripple's coming from a different angle. I mean, they're the ones that are talking to the banks. Like they're the ones that are trying to make this a banker's style cryptocurrency coin that's going to interact with financial institutions all over the world in a compliant way, or going to at least strive for that. So that's where I see a lot of value. Like I've been talking a little bit about Ripple. Like Ripple could be the flipping coin. That could be the one to overtake Bitcoin. And even with these charts, like these rankings, again, like look where Bitcoin is. You know, down the charts, like it's below Ripple. I mean, they're both about the same, but I'm big in Ripple, XRP, not because I like it, but the banks won't go away. If the dApps can take off, ETH can take off. Yeah, there's, you know, the dApps, I feel like they have like different times where they have higher adoption rates than others. So it's kind of low right now. Like, I mean, you've got 333 ETH and IDEX are the only two with over 1,000 daily active users, and everything else is, you know, a few hundred. So they're still kind of low on the adoption. But how do you feel about EOS? Like, I know China likes it. They're ranking at #1, but I've heard a lot of negativity behind that. I'm not currently holding any EOS. Never did, really. I think I bought in like a long time ago, but like I put in a sell, like a high sell order, and I flipped it, and like I never went back. So I don't know. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of like Ethereum 2.0, right? But when, you know, it's just not quite there yet. It's just not quite there yet. I bought EOS for 45 cents and didn't sell for 21 bucks. Now, what is EOS? It's like $5, $6. It could pump. I like the look of this chart. So, you know, last year, January, early January, you saw it pump, come up to 18 bucks. You know, kind of retracted. And this is a very bear market, but here's you know, May, beginning of May, boom. You know, some of the excitement, $21, and then it retraced to $5. But you know, you can see the volume here. Like the volume, you know, starting in June has been steadily higher, and maybe we have a little bit of a support line here. So if we're kind of looking at this trajectory, I could see that having some potential. I just, from the tech side of things, like I've heard some negativity behind it. I think some of that's like I gotta find, like, Richard Hart was pretty negative towards EOS in a way. I gotta pull that up. I got that somewhere. And he kind of went on a rant and just trashed it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. One thing I did want to show was, let's see if I'll pull this up here. This GXChain. So they did. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, yeah. So with GXChain, if we look at the block explorer, okay, kind of like, you know, they've got their own block explorer here, and you can see this like GXB Foundation, and they have, you know, the most tokens. You can see Binance, which is where most of the trading is. It's in the Binance wallet. GXChain Capital. You can see some of the top token holder rankings. You know, so I think they're interesting. But this large one right here, and so I kind of looked into that. Like, I was looking into this this foundation, and kind of going back into the ICO days. And so what I saw, what was here was, yeah, shares held by GBX Foundation, 51%. So they had 51 million shares, which I guess is like 40 now. It's held by the foundation as restricted shares, circulated by year, maximally 6% the first year, used for marketing programs, you know, consultant appointment, talent recruiting, community. So they're using that money and the dividends off the GX coins generated are owned by the foundation. GX coins held by the foundation shall be made to the public, and the plans for purpose of these funds shall be announced on the website, open to social supervision. So they're being kind of transparent, like, you know, with that. It is a very Asian development. Like, you see their team here. This is like Chinese in origin. So you can see like the founders here, a little bit of the team. So this is kind of like some of the apps and stuff they're building. I've kind of got this infograph, kind of explain a little bit. So kind of building a data economy ecosystem. It's kind of how they're branding it. Daily divs and P3D, all you need. P3D, like, let's bring up P3D. I don't know how low it's going to go. I was saying, like, I might be interested in getting back into it once it goes under 40,000, but look at this. Wow. This is not too long ago. Went from 36, so you had a whale sell a lot. What was that, like about 1,500 ETH or so? Boom. Kind of zoom out a little bit. Zoom out some more. I mean, that's the trend we're seeing. I only see one green line here. P3D need a very, very good game, and soon. Yeah, I would agree. Because, like, I mean, I'll show you, like, I mean, I kind of, like, probably didn't have the right strategy with the FOMO project, because I thought the contract was not going to get hacked in the way that it was. I felt it was going to go on for a lot longer. And so I took a really, really big position. But, like, I haven't logged into this account in a long time. I only got $7 in there. 0.02, 0.03 ETH. So I just, it's, like, you want to get into it for the dividends, and I don't know, it's just, it's not that profitable right now. And if you're in P3D, like, you're losing money in the valuation of the coins and the tokens that you have. So I don't know how low P3D is going to go, but it's going to bottom at some point, and I think you're going to see, you might see some more money starting to come in. But I mean, I was holding strong through 4,000 ETH. Like, it's at 36,000, which is, I mean, what is that? That's 9x. So if you were holding 4,000 and you're still holding now, like, you're still up like 9x. You know, maybe you take out the 10% fees, you're at like 8x. But it's an interesting market, that's for sure. Midnight run is interesting. It's not a scam like the daily percentage and midnight FOMO type payout idea. I haven't looked into it. Like, I think I briefly looked at their website, so I haven't had time to look at it. Just started daily divs after your last stream, giving it a shot. The dividends have been down a little bit, and I've taken a bigger position in lending. So you can see here, like, I have 8,000. Like, I had 7,000 last time, so I kind of bumped this up again. You can see here, like, it hasn't even been, well, I guess it's been about 24 hours. So I got 123 DDT tokens, and I'm making more on that than the exchange. Like, the exchange, I got like 0.3 ETH in there, or say 0.04, okay? So 0.04 buys me 15 DDT tokens, but I'm making, you know, 123, so I'm making like 10x, almost 10x in the lending aspect. Now, the thing with lending, you just want to just keep an eye on this aspect, which I kind of got a little clarification from Jason on it. But this is at like 41% the other day. It kind of bounces around depending on how many people are in this, but this lending balance is continuing to go up. So, you know, now the way Jason was describing is like, if you have people that are getting in and out, you know, there's a 22% fee, and also the amount of tokens that are in there. So the million tokens that are in that lending balance are also earning dividends on volume in the exchange. So those dividends and also the 22% fee is what is paying the 1.33%. However, the 1.33% is static. So it's possible that without volume, that you might start to see the global DDT lending surplus balance, you know, start to creep down. And that's when, like, if it drops low enough, you may want to consider, you know, pulling out and just staying in the exchange. So it's a little risky, is kind of what I'm just trying to warn. So I'm, you know, currently doing much better in it, so I'm giving it a go. I've heard that Jason is not behind Midnight Run. I think that was actually a false claim by Oracle, but I can't confirm that. But I think that's about it for me today. So I'm going to try to bring some interesting stuff. Like, I don't recognize hardly any of the cryptocurrency companies that are at this blockchain event, but there's some people that from different parts of the world that are interested in networking. So I'm, you know, be having some drinks with some Koreans tonight. They seem like fun guys. So we'll have a little bit of fun tonight, and maybe we get those guys to open up a little bit. They're working on some cool stuff. So appreciate y'all staying online, and I'll catch you on the next one.